Today I'd like to talk to you about one of the most talented musicians I've ever known, my daughter, Michaela Finch. My daughter recently turned 17, and that is a major accomplishment for her as well as my wife and I. When Michaela first started playing music, she played on a little kit that we got her from the Target. It had a drum, maracas, cymbals, and she'd hand out the instruments to my wife and I, and we'd start playing along to Mariah Carey or George Thorogood, and she'd have a big smile on her face. At age 5, Michaela started taking piano lessons at the local guitar center. As she started to play, the teacher stated that she was very talented in the fact that she could read the music, but she also was memorizing all the pieces, which she thought was kind of strange for such a young girl to do. We had to buy her an electric keyboard to allow her to practice at home, and she just played with all the different sounds and tones that it had with it. She played for a number of years before we moved to Germany in 2005. In 2005, we found another teacher in Hanau that instructed her in the ways of the piano, and also stated that we needed to get her a better piano or keyboard that had 88 keys and preferably with pedals, because she was far outgrowing the keyboard she had. So we bought her her first keyboard, and again she played and played and played with that one. In 6th grade, she picked up the flute and started playing the flute. This was the first step in evolution of her musical playing abilities. She played well enough that in her 2nd year of playing, she was 2nd chair at the junior high school, which was, to me, very amazing. Playing less than 2 years and in 2nd chair already. As a reward, we bought her first flute. After much research online, she decided the one she wanted, and she named it Pocky, after a Japanese dessert snack treat. It's a strange combination. When we moved to Kaiserslautern, when we were still in Germany, we found another teacher to help teach her flute, so we give her that extra edge. And some of the first words out of Burdette's mouth were, "She needs a better flute." Even though we have only had the flute for a couple of years, she was already outgrowing it. So we started looking, and the next step ups were not very inexpensive, but it was a viable option for her. As she was playing, she was told by her flute teacher at the high school that no freshman would ever be first chair, no matter how good they were, which we thought was just completely unfair. But in a double-blind test, she won against 2 different seniors, and she was first chair. That was only her 3rd year playing flute. She also became the first freshman in all of Europe to be the alternate for the All-Europe Honor Band, which was another great accomplishment. Her flute teacher, Burdette, also was a professional musician and a retiree from the United States Air Force Band. He had a bass flute, which Michaela thought was the greatest thing in the world because it was a flute, only bigger. So she attempted to play it a number of times, and Burdette was impressed with the fact that her, as a freshman, 3, maybe 4 years of playing, was able to fill up the horn and get good sound out of it. And so also around the same time, she found an instrument called the bassoon laying at the high school. The bassoon, for those of you who do not know, looks a lot like an oboe, only larger. And it's a wooden instrument with a reed attachment. When she first attempted to play it, she couldn't get a note out of the bassoon at all, which was kind of frustrating to her. And I made it more frustrating by picking it up and playing one long, scraggly note. But she persevered and she started to play. She self-taught the bassoon for 2 years. When we came back here to the States, she found a bassoon teacher at the local college, and Lizzie has been helping her greatly with the bassoon. Michaela's continued on with her flute playing. She's been first chair. She's played in the marching band. She's been to the KMEA twice in the honor band section, once as a first chair, once as a second chair. She's played in numerous weekend classes for bassoon and flute, and consistently places in the honor positions, no lower than 3rd chair. She loves playing in marching band, and it's her goal and dream to be a professional musician and play in an orchestra. I might be biased when I say she is one of the most talented musicians I know, but for someone who's only 17 to accomplish this with 2 parents that are not musical to me, shows that she has great talent. She memorizes her music, she can play numerous pieces from memory, and she can read music quickly. And she's currently practicing a new trick called vibrato, which is going to give her that little extra edge when she goes for her auditions for college. Again, I'd like to thank you for letting me explain about the most talented musician I know, my daughter, Michaela Finch.